Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at PrepperNet.com.
Survive, thrive, stay alive. It's time to get prepared with the Prepping Academy podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Prepping Academy podcast. I am Forrest, here with another incredible show for you guys. Again, I apologize. I am driving, and so sound quality, give me a break on that this time. I need another pass on sound quality. This is 2 in a row. So I wanted to bring some information to you guys about PrepperNet. I mentioned that in the last podcast. I hope the last podcast didn't make too many of you mad. Hope you didn't share it with people that it shouldn't have been shared with. I made some pretty bold statements there. Got on a little rant, soapbox. I was just sharing my thoughts. So, and I think my kids think you can say just saying makes everything okay. So I'm going to use that. So no matter what you say, if you just say just saying, it's like serious but not. Don't get offended. I think that's what that means. I don't know. I'm not hip like that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about PrepperNet. How I formed it, why it's there, and why you need to be a member. Is this an advertisement? No, it's not. But it's informational. But you do need to join, and I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to explain the features and the goal of PrepperNet. I don't think I've done this before, and we released it several months ago. So let me tell you. So several years ago, I started a thing called Carolina Preppers Network in Charlotte, North Carolina. We had, this was 5.5 years ago, I guess. I wanted to meet other like-minded individuals in my neighborhood, in my community. So I created a meetup, and we met at Fuddruckers. And the first meeting, we had 7-ish people, and it was not what I expected. I'm an ex-banker. I was expecting to meet banking type people, white collar, nice house, 2 kids and a dog, just that's what I expected to meet, but that is not what happened. I met this lady named Elemental. She's a herbalist. She's also a homesteader, and I call her a hippie sometimes, but she's awesome. At first she freaked me out. I'm like, who in the world is this lady? Now, if you ever heard any of my podcasts, I always say that I'm going to go kidnap her. She is the lady. She came to my very first meeting. And so, and it was just not what I expected, but I continued with it. We started growing. Fuddruckers was too loud. We moved to another location. And then I had friends and people I've met, in the past, 15 years of prepping. And they go, hey, I want to do what you're doing, but I want to do it in Greensboro, Fayetteville, Raleigh, Asheville, whatever city in the Carolinas. And so I kind of helped them. I said, this is what I do. This is how I do it. This is how I market it. Why don't you start it? And you could be, the Carolina Preppers Network, Greensboro, Raleigh, Fayetteville. And then, so we just did it in the Carolinas. And then all of a sudden, South Carolina was at it. And before you know it, we were in 18, 19 cities in the Carolinas. Had leaders that were running meetups in each of the cities. And, it was kind of a community. I could call the Greensboro group and say, what are you doing? Some of my people would go up to Greensboro. They would come down to our meetings, and it was working out good. Then we started going to places like PrepperNet. Prepper Camp, Heritage Life Skills, and some other expos or conferences, and people started hearing about this Carolina Preppers Network, and I started helping people outside the Carolinas. They were kind of doing their own thing, and I was just helping them. And then last year, with some counsel from Scott Hunt and just several people, and I went to him and I talked to him about expanding this. And so we did. And so we had to change the name, because if you're in Tennessee, Carolina Preppers Network does not really work so well. So I went out and searched, found a name, PrepperNet, bought the name, went out to all the social media sites and got the name PrepperNet, and we changed the name to PrepperNet. My goal was to launch it first part of 2019, but things just kind of took its own course, and people were calling me, and things were happening, and cities were coming on board, and kind of really launched it 3-4 months before I wanted to. Which means I wasn't fully ready. So we launched PrepperNet end of the fall last year. And since then, the growth has been incredible. We are in roughly, I think it's 60 cities or so. I'm talking to about 15 other people to bring on new cities. So in 60 cities across the United States, PrepperNet has a meetup where you can go once a month and meet like-minded individuals across the table, where you're going to have dinner or training or something. You can meet them in your own community. And that is the ultimate goal. The number one goal is for preppers to network with other preppers. I have a firm belief that if you're not in a group or a community or a tribe, whatever you want to call it, of preppers, and the crap hits the fan, it's going to end early for you. You cannot protect everything you own. You do not have all the skills that are needed for you and your family to survive by yourselves. Unless you're a doctor, dentist, gunsmith, everything, which I've yet to meet one of them. So you need other people in your community, your survival group, your tribe, that y'all can work together. And I call that some people call it a MAG group or survival group, but you've got to have one of them. So PrepperNet is for people in a public arena to come and meet others. So 90% of PrepperNet is about meeting others. 10% is about the training. There is some training to every one of our meetings. There's training. Could be from water filtration to canning to whatever. There is some training. But the goal is for you to meet other preppers. You don't have to go in there and say, hey, I've got 700 pounds of rice. You don't have to go in there and divulge all the information that you have about your preps. The goal is for you to meet someone and you like them, and then maybe say, hey, can we have coffee together? And you do some training together, and all of a sudden you build a relationship, a trust. This is not going to happen in a week or two. It could happen months or years. And then from that, you could possibly ask them to be a part of your group, or you could go and say, hey, let's do a group together. And so the goal is for you to meet people in a public arena, public venue, so that one day that you can invite them to be a part of your personal group, or y'all can start one together. The ultimate goal of PrepperNet is forming survival groups, communities, and mag groups. That is the end goal of what PrepperNet is about, which is interesting because as you know, we bring in more preppers that join. Preppers also leave. They leave because they join a mag or a group or community, and then their training is within that community or mag. So we are a starting point, but we are not the end point. So to do that, I went out and got the best experts in this industry that are trustworthy names that would give me some validity and some clout. So I went out and I got an expert panel, and you'll know almost every one of these, and I hope I don't miss any of them. I shouldn't, because I know I've met with every one of these personally, and we've talked about this on many occasions. So I went out to Amron and got John Jacob Schmidt, JJS, because I love what he's doing with communications in America. And I actually went to John and said, John, do you mind? We want you to handle all communications for PrepperNet. There's many podcasts. I've been on his show. He's been on my show. So Amron, there've been some white papers written, some goals, some missions. All that is kind of just put together, and we're just kind of starting that process. And so John Jacob, very trustworthy guy, awesome gentleman. He is now on my expert panel. Then I went to Sam Kopler. A lot of you guys know him from Forward Observer. A lot of people, Sam is just, he's a genius. He's very smart when it comes to intelligence. He is, he's got, so the intelligence piece, that is his role when it comes to PrepperNet. He's going to train some people. He's going to provide classes. So Sam Kopler is on my team. Then I went to, let me see here, Brian Duff for Mind for Survival, does a podcast. He works for North American Rescue. He is on my expert panel. I went to Scott Hunt from Practical Preppers. He was a judge on Doomsday Preppers, was Southern Prepper One's partner for a while. Scott, he's also a minister. He is on our expert panel. Then I went to Rick Austin and Survivor Jane. Rick does the Secret Garden, and Jane does the Survivor Jane. She has a book out. They both have books out. They also organize and run Prepper Camp. I went to people I just had dinner with this past weekend. Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy. Some of the biggest names in this industry. They have great information, great products. This past weekend, we met at Chili's, had dinner. What a blast that was, just to see them, talk about them, kind of the future. I went to Glenn Tate and Shelby Gallagher. Glenn did the 299 Days book series. Shelby is doing a great state. Her book series, they do a podcast called Prepping 2.0. I'm a big fan of that because I'm tired of talking about bug out bags. If you've been prepping for more than 2 years, if you're talking about bug out bags, it's time to graduate. It's time to graduate. I'm just being real. Then I went out and got Ryan Mitchell, good friend of mine. Ryan does The Tiny Life. He's written some #1 bestsellers, and he also does minimalism. Easy for me to say. And he's an expert in tiny. One of the top experts in the tiny house industry. And a good friend too. We hang out, and then I went out. Let's see who else I got. I got Charlie Hogwood. He wrote the book called Survival Groups. I mean, he wrote the book on survival groups. This dude. He also wrote a book on pandemics, which is one of the best books I've read in a while. Franklin Horton, author of the Borrowed World series. Great guy. Spent some time with him. All my expert panel here recently. Great author. He the Borrowed World series. Great series. Takes place up in Virginia. Gentleman goes to work, leaves his family, and is prepared and leaves the right information for his wife to continue and protect herself while he is stuck outside the city of their hometown, and she has all the information right there. Great book series. If you've never read Franklin Horton, good series. Let's see who else. I think that's about it. Brian Duff, Ryan Mitchell. Yeah. So hope I didn't forget anybody. Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at PrepperNet.com.
And so when I got these people to give me credibility, PrepperNet credibility, they're on the same page. They like the idea of connecting people. And so the idea of PrepperNet 100% is connecting people. So we have, like I said, we have 63 meetups, actually 60 meetups statewide right now, or nationwide, where I have a city leader that you know, we're all on the same page. I make sure we get the right city leaders to lead the groups. But we actually, I'll get into some of the things we do for city leaders later. But they pull their heart and soul and mind on and making sure that you guys and our PrepperNet members connect and that they get the right training. That is, you know, sometimes it's a game changer with the right training versus the wrong training. And then we have to meet someone in your local area, you literally need to sit across the table from them. How do you do that? You can't go on Craigslist, you can't go on Facebook. That's why we have, if you go to meetup.com, you can search PrepperNet and you can see all the different cities. They're listed there, and do any distance and you can find them all. But then you can search the city that you live in, and you know what? We may have one. If we don't have one, help us get started, and I'll get on that in a little bit. Help us start one there. There's a process for that. But then we have a thing within. So on PrepperNet, there's two types of members. There's the basic member, and to join, all I ask is you verify your email address, and that you put your zip code in, and you need to use your correct zip code because it's going to be in your favor for your benefit. So that's the basic. Anyone can join. There's a great information, a lot of Amron stuff, a lot of ham communication, just a lot of good information there. Then I have a premium member that's $40 a year, and that's not going to break your bank. $40 a year so you can get connected to others. So with that, when we have monthly webinars, some of my expert panel are going to be doing a lot of the webinars, and that's just free content. We also give away books. I think right now we're up to 5 or 6 books that you can download. And this is Franklin Horton, Arthur Bradley, the EMP expert, Glenn Tate. I forget who else is on there, but But yeah, so you can free books. But we also have this thing called PrepperNet Connect. So what it does is it's a way for you to connect with people in a zip code. So let's say that you live in a zip code, it's a rural area, and you just need to find out if there's anyone around you that's a prepper. No way to do that currently. So what I do is we have a form. You can search the zip code of our 26,000 members, and it will tell you how many PrepperNet members are in that zip code. Won't list their names. It'll just say 12 PrepperNet members in this zip code that you selected. You can then send them a message. The message would go like this: hey, my name is Tom Green. I live in ABC City. I am looking for other preppers in the area. My email address is this. My phone number is this. Let's get together for coffee or dinner just so we can meet. I want to meet like-minded people. You hit submit. It goes to the 12 individuals, and then they determine if they want to reply or not. If they don't want to reply, if your email was not compelling to them, or just some things are going on in their life, they don't have time, or they just are not in the idea of, in the mindset of meeting someone right now, then they don't have to. They do have your information, but you don't have theirs. Let's say that they do want to respond, and you get like 5 of the 12 respond, say, yeah, my name is Mary and Tim, and we live, right down the street. We would love to have coffee and meet you. So everyone's information is always protected. The only time it is not protected is when you fill out a form and you're requesting to connect with others. Then you have to share your information or there'll be no connection. So that is protecting everyone's privacy right there. We also don't allow people to send more than one zip code in a 24-hour period. So if you send a zip code out, because I know areas like bigger cities have more than one zip code, well, it's just going to take you several days to get the information out. And then next day you search a different zip code right down the road and you send that out. If you send more than 5 in a week, it locks your account. And then I go in and make sure you're not spamming people for spamming reasons. I want to make sure you're doing it legitimate and you're really trying to connect with people. So that keeps the spammers away. And so this is a way to connect. So what I'm trying to do is just to email, hey, go ahead, create a email just for this. I don't care, just as long as other people connect with you. You guys should be using Proton Mail anyway, or something like that, a secure email. Everybody's like, you're going to share this with the government. Are you kidding me? The government doesn't care about preppers. I'm just telling you. They don't. We're such a small, they got so many other issues going on. And they're in the email, again, use a Proton with a VPN. Yeah, protect your privacy. Absolutely. I'm all about privacy. I'm a huge advocate of privacy. VPN, anonymously purchase a VPN and then go and get an anonymous Proton account. Boom, there you go. Don't be complaining I'm going to hand stuff over to the government. Use your head, not your mouth. Go out and figure out how to do this stuff and still connect with people and still keep your OPSEC, your privacy and security. So that's enough. Okay, anyway, so that's how you can connect with others. The reason this idea came up because in my survival group, my personal survival group that's been together for 18 years, we have 19 families, 2 single people. And it's the longest known survival group that the 2 other experts in the industry I know says they've come across, and that's Charlie Hogwood and Jonathan Hollerman. We've been together 18 years. We've got our crap together. We spent a lot of money and a lot of time, a lot of training. And I do share a lot about my group because I'm passionate about other groups. And you know what? The information I'm sharing is just generic, basic on how to form a group, how to put a group together, how to keep a group together, and just, I don't give you codes, colors, call signs. I'd never share any of that stuff, but I shared a lot of information if you listen to my podcast. I'm getting ready to do I think it's a 10-part series on survival groups, how to form them, how to put them together, checks and balances, all that kind of stuff, even bug out locations, all that kind of stuff. That's the goal. Hold me to it. So that's the way to connect to others, through PrepperNet Connect. The reason this came up is because in my survival group, we have a young lady that goes to a university in Alabama, and I didn't know preppers years ago in Alabama. Didn't know any. Well, now, if I use PrepperNet Connect on PrepperNet.com, you do have to be a premium member for this. I can go in there and put in the zip code and find other preppers, and then I can say, hey, my daughter goes to university. I'm going to be in town this weekend. Can we have coffee? I'm looking for someone that could possibly help me in case the crap hits the fan. My daughter or son is right there, and I need to find someone we can trust or whatever, and you meet, and boom, and you find someone to help you. Or you have a loved one or mom and dad, and you need to meet other preppers because your mom and dad or loved ones they don't have the same mindset. You can use this tool to meet people in that area, and over time you can trust them, and enough that at least that they may help your parents or whoever. So that's what this is about. There's nothing like that out there that I've ever seen. Currently our database is like 26,000 people. You can look at a map of all the zip codes in the premium membership side. So you can look at all the zip codes. It does not map out an address. So don't think, oh, I'm not in there. It doesn't show my house. It just randomly puts a little symbol in that zip code. That one symbol could represent 100 or 300 people in that zip code. All that little icon does is represent at least one person in that zip code, and that is searchable. You can zoom in on it, but the zoom just randomly puts it there. There's no address whatsoever connected to that, no email connected to that at that point when you search that. So that's how we connect people. We connected some people in West Palm Beach, Florida. The guy filled it out, wanted to meet other people in West Palm Beach, did the zip code, and one of the guys responded, and they actually knew each other in the same neighborhood, but did not know that each other were preppers. That is crazy. They're actually going to write a little story about that so we can put it on the website, about how that all worked out and how they weren't, when I say neighbors, they lived in the same neighborhood, but I think the guy said it's like 23 houses away. So it's not like someone you go across the street and meet. But they knew of each other and have seen each other. So that's pretty cool. That's a success right there. Again, we do have webinars. I've done one on security and privacy, which is, I show people how to buy things anonymously on the internet, how to get things shipped, how to do aliases, how to surf the internet and stay and be anonymous. Can this stuff happen? Yes, it absolutely can. There's a correlation between privacy and convenience, though. So privacy and security, the higher you go up on the chart on that, the less convenient it's going to be. Are we hiding from the NSA or CIA or FBI? No, that's not my goal. Some of this can be taken that far, but the goal is to hide from corporate America, to hide from hackers, just keep our information, our personal information, personal. So, but we've done a webinar on survival groups, on how to form them, what to look for, and I think that was a 2-hour webinar. And so we've done 2 or 3 at this point. We did one on ham communications. What equipment to buy when it comes to communication. We didn't say go buy a HF radio. We said go buy this HF radio. These things have been improving. Don't go buy a shortwave radio. Go buy this shortwave radio. Listen, when we recommend something, we test it out. We feel at the time that we're recommending it, it is the best product on the market for the price. So we do take that serious. Just like my last podcast, I kind of went off on people that sold Wise Food, and I sell Legacy at this time. Also, I was selling Honeyville and Angus Farms. They're just the best. We did the research. We felt that was the absolutely best. That's why we would sell it. We do have a discount buying program that's coming. Some of it's already on the on PrepperNet.com, and you can get things at a discount, a huge discount. We have an affiliate network on there as well to help support us. So you can join the premium membership because that's important to support what we're doing in America. It's also helpful to get connected with other people outside your meetup if you don't have a meetup in that city. Also, the discount buying program itself is going to be able to pay for the $40 a year that we're asking for. So another thing that we do, PrepperNet, is we train leaders. So our city leaders, we have a conference call once a month. I give them an update. We do some training, like some best practices on how to run meetups. We have a community on Facebook where leaders can connect and share. We have a forum as well that they can share their presentation or cool things they find or links they find. We also have just many different ways and a marketing program for our city leaders. So helping the city leaders, keeping them positive and focused is one of the things that we do at PrepperNet. So if you don't have a group in your area, and your area could support a group of 10 to 20 people, go to PrepperNet and look what information we have, and you can start a group. Be a city. There's a huge advantage of being a city leader. Matter of fact, it's kind of a secret within PrepperNet, and I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, but the leaders love it because they get their first choice of picking people to be in their survival group. So if you're growing a survival group, people look at leaders, especially of a city, to be in their group. And so also a lot of the leaders are putting together their own. Again, if you're not putting together a survival group or you don't think it's important, PrepperNet's not for you, because we're all about you getting in a personal survival group. So on PrepperNet, we also do ham nets. Amron is where we're going to jump in with their national nets to test your ham radio communication skills and get familiar with your radios. I estimate in the last 12 months we've had over 200 new ham operators within PrepperNet. We've done 2 YouTube video trainings or webinar trainings and to help people get their license. We also do a ZeloNet, where in each city they have a ZeloNet as well. That's a push-to-talk app on a cellular phone. We've partnered with people like Alerts USA that allows you, I call it a head start. You get information from real-world situations long before AP or any news agency publishes it. We've partnered with there's 2 VPNs I use. One's API, one's NOR VPNs. If you go to the website, click on it, you get a discount. It helps PrepperNet. So why does PrepperNet need money? Why am I charging people? Because this costs money. I'm going to trade shows. I've created the software, the website, the city leaders, and the infrastructure is currently on Meetup, Facebook, Zello. We even have a Discord channel for emergencies. We also have alternative social media that, in case, Facebook or Instagram, whatever, starts to ban preppers or don't like what we're doing, we have alternative sites and ways to communicate with preppers. So there's a lot of Facebook groups that I've seen some that have 30, 40, 50,000 members. But if Facebook all of a sudden didn't like 5 or 6 posts and they shut down the group, there's no way to communicate with people you've been communicating with for years. Again, that's why you need to join PrepperNet. And we actually have our own forums. We do use Facebook, but we use so many different types of media right now. It's kind of mind-boggling and hard to keep up with. Maybe we're just covering all our bases. I feel like that's the right thing to do. So join PrepperNet. Help us out. Get your email and your zip so we can contact you. If crap hits the fan, we can contact you. We teach you how to do the ham radio. We're here to help you. If you think $40 a year is outrageous, then gosh, I'll just tell you this. At this rate, it's going to be about 4 years before I even get the money out of what I put in. And that's okay. It's not about the money. It's kind of like a calling of what I've been called to do. And it's to connect people. Because if you're not in a group, you're going to die. Yeah, a lot of people hate when I say that. But I don't say that. I mean, I do say the words, if you're not in a group, you're going to die if the crap hits the fan. If the EMP hits, a CME hits, I'm saying that with my words, but history says that. So I know I'm saying it with my words, and it's kind of like in your face. Yes, you got to be in a group, but history says that. Groups survive. Communities, tribes survive. Small families that were traveling across America for the gold rush, they die. Small groups die. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just saying, and it's also, guys, it's a lot more fun in a group. I'm just telling you. You can find people you can trust. Trust me, you can. And it's a lot more fun to do this stuff together than by yourself or just you and your spouse, which, probably 70% of people are doing it without their spouse anyway. But when you get a group and all of a sudden the spouse has someone to communicate with, it actually kind of helps too. But you got to be in a group, in a community, a tribe, to come together. When the crap hits the fan, you can lean on each other, you can utilize each other's skills, motivate, educate. It's a game changer. That should be your number one prep. That is the most important prep. Absolutely, bar none. So anyway, I guess this did turn into an advertisement for PrepperNet. I brought in the names. If you don't, contact my expert panel and ask them what they think. Glenn and Shelby all the time talk about it. I've been on JJS's podcast. We've talked about it. He's on board. Guys, this is the right thing to do. You need to be a part of this. And you also then need to help me get the word out. If you're already a listener or a member, share it. Just imagine if people use OPSEC and they use the email address and the VPN, and we could connect to every prepper in the United States, and you can search for people in your neighborhood, in your zip code, and we connect people. People start going to meetups and meeting people. I watched this video the other weekend. This guy was saying meetups is don't go there. You're blowing your OPSEC. Or what that guy used. Every prepper in the world should send him a message saying, you are doing more harm to our community than you are good. because you've got to be in a group. And how do you get in a group? You can't mail or order them. They won't show up at your door. You've got to go out and put yourself out there. Just don't go say, hey, I have 75 guns. Don't be doing that. We have people that go to our meetups, like in Raleigh. We got a lady, her name is Mouse. I don't even know her real name. The guy that runs my Raleigh group is called Cowboy. What's his name? I don't know. People use code names. But if you don't get in the group, you're going to die. So, and you know what? I'm okay with that. You know, I mean, you just got to prepare. And being prepared is being able to know when to say something, know when not to say something, and know that you need to be in a group. So anyway, another rant. Don't mean to rant on all of these. I'm sorry. Next one, I know I can't promise. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and catch us next time on the Prepping Academy podcast. It's at preppingacademy.com, preppingacademy.com, and PrepperNet is just like it is, PrepperNet, just one word, PrepperNet.com. We have a Facebook site. We have the website. So come and join us. Help us get the word out as well. You guys take care. We'll talk to you guys on the next podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Prepping Academy podcast. Preppers Unite at www.preppingacademy.com.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.